Follow the money.
That's what I always say. You always follow the money.
Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Pauly Howard on VSiN.
Thanks for checking in. Live on a Friday, downtown Vegas, Circa Resort and Casino, your spot. Busy hour coming up. We'll expand on the baseball card coming up in 15 minutes. Bottom of the hour, we're going to get an odds maker's perspective on the deadline yesterday in baseball. Chris Bennett, dynamite on this sport. He'll join the show. What did he adjust? How has he adapted to the numbers and with the numbers after the news that came out yesterday, obviously, with all those trades? And here, we begin the hour with more baseball as Matt Vasgersian joins the program, and he is on the progressive guest line. Matt, as always, thanks for the time. Pleasure talking to you. What did you love yesterday?
You know what I loved is that two teams really clearly said, we're not going to win this year, and we're going to make ourselves more nimble. So I tip my cap to the Twins, even though Minnesota fans have got to be hacked off at the sell-off. And the Diamondbacks, it's really hard to look yourself in the mirror as an organization and say, it's not happening. Let's get rid of some payroll. And for Minnesota to have found a buyer on the $200 million left on Carlos Correa that's something that I respect a lot. As far as teams that help themselves, I mean, what did A.J. Preller? He dealt 22 players yesterday. It's unbelievable how this guy can't sit still at the trade deadline.
Yep.
He loves wheeling and dealing. And the Padres did a lot. I think the Mets and Phillies made themselves even better. And the Yankees fixed their bullpen problem. I was really surprised at the Jose Caballero acquisition. I mean, they have lost – I think they've completely lost confidence in Anthony Volpe. And anecdotally, I've heard that. You can see it. The errors have become a big problem, and they're not going to wait around. They went and got a serviceable shortstop that can play tomorrow if they want him to.
Mm-hmm. Good stuff. Looking at tonight's card. Now, this is interesting because Carlos Correa going to make his return here. What do you want to do with this game that he's involved in?
Boy, it's fascinating. This is a great game to watch. They got him right back out there batting fourth. If someone were to tell you that Carlos Correa, Jose Altuve, and Alex Bregman would both be on the same field on this day in August of 2025, you'd wonder what the circumstance was. Mm-hmm. And here they are head-to-head lined up against each other. Cooper Criswell's on the mound for the Red Sox tonight. He's back up from AAA. He throws his changeup a lot, and he throws it a lot to right-handers, which is unusual for a young right-handed pitcher. Carlos Correa has a slug against a right-handed changeup of 545, expected slug even higher. So if you like the narrative of Carlos Correa rejoining the Astros and doing some damage in this potential postseason matchup preview, the numbers kind of back that up. He could be fun to watch tonight.
How about, I'm looking at this, it looks too easy. It's been a weird last couple of days in baseball. How did the Phillies not light up Flaherty?
Oh, gosh, I've asked myself that same question, Pauly. I mean, you look at Flaherty's numbers. He's been splits neutral his whole career. But this year, for whatever reason, his four-seamer and his slider have been hit really hard. And the Phillies have a couple of left-handed batters who excel against right-handed four-seam and splits. And there are two guys that bat at the bottom of the order in Bryson Stott, who's hitting ninth tonight, and Max Kepler, who I think's in there batting seventh. But beyond just the matchup-y stuff, Flaherty's numbers on the road have been really bad this year. His numbers at night have been bad this year, and he's never pitched in Philly. And that place is like a lion's den. Mm-hmm. And coming out of the deadline where they were active and that fan base is activated and half nuts and half drunk many nights, that's going to be a tough place for Jack Flaherty tonight. 4.5 is a team total for the Phillies, 2.5 through 5. Those are pretty interesting numbers out there.
God, I love the deep dives from you so much. It's Follow the Money here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Matt Vasgersian, our guest here on the Progressive Guest Line, of course, MLB Network. The Royals and the Blue Jays tonight. It's Michael Wacha taking on Kevin Gausman. Let me give you a number here. Opposing pitchers, Matt, are 23-2-1 under their K prop in the last 26 games when they faced the Blue Jays in Toronto. Tonight, Wacha 3.5 plus money to the under.
Yeah, that speaks pretty loudly. I mean, this is how Toronto's made themselves good, right? There was an article in the Wall Street Journal, of all places. Like, when a team slugs and doesn't strike out and it makes the Wall Street Journal, everybody's paying attention. That's like a pedestrian story being featured on the Today Show. Now all of a sudden everybody knows. And that's the case with the Blue Jays. That under is really appealing, I think, for a lot of people. And I'll give you a batter pitcher matchup there that I can't believe. Ty France is going to make his Toronto debut tonight. He left Minnesota 7 for his last 20, so he was as hot as he's been all year. His numbers against Ty France, 12 for 25 with damage, OPS of almost 1,300, which is interesting. And then, so when you see something like that, the temptation is just to act on it. I think you have to go back and look at how recent that stretch is, right? Because you could do the same thing against Flaherty with a couple of Philly hitters. Like Nick Castellanos has good numbers against him, but he hasn't faced him since 2021. Schwarber, good numbers against him, hasn't faced him since 2021 when he was a national, and we barely remember him as a national. It's recent with Ty France against Michael Wacha. So, I mean, you could find a market where Ty France gets a base hit. I'm sure you have to pay a pretty big tax on that because one base hit feels very reasonable for him tonight.
Okay. I want to ask the question here. My God, I mean, there's a fishy number like every single night in Major League Baseball. The Guardians at home with Williams going against Ryan and the Twins. The Guardians are like, they were $1.17 earlier today. The Twins are trotting out a double-A lineup.
Yeah, traded 11 guys. Yeah.
Moving forward, right? Yeah. So is it just Joe Ryan's going to go there and go 8 strong, strike out 10, and he's going to give up nothing, and that's how the Twins win the game?
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what they're going to have to do. It's funny you mentioned that, Mitch, because I pulled up that lineup about 5 minutes ago. Austin Martin leading off, Alan Roden hitting second. I mean, if you're asking yourself who, as a listener right now, you're not alone. They dealt the whole cupboard away. So to me, that just, from a playing standpoint, from a gaming standpoint, it just screams stay away because you just don't know. There's variance there. Like some of these kids that come up, Alan Roden could go 4 for 4 tonight. Those are massive trap games, I think, and I'd stay as far away as possible.
Okay. One future question. In light of what happened yesterday, how well they're playing, and the numbers come down, what do you think of the Padres 8-1 to win the division?
It's so tempting, right? Because we all buy into the fact that they have this super bullpen now with, Mike Schilt talked about his 4 horsemen, these 4 relievers that he had that were having, all-star seasons. Now it's 6. I mean, they got the big donkey from the A's. My God, they're unbelievable. He's going to start next year, by the way, they're talking about Mason Miller.
You buy into that?
I don't know. I buy into him starting because the A's had that same quandary with him. They kicked the tires on him as a starter too before unleashing him as the 106 mile an hour closer. If you can get 18 pitches and 10 of them are over 100 miles an hour in the 9th inning, you're pretty good. The problem is there wasn't much to save for the A's. There is with the Padres, so they're not going to make that conversion till next year. I think a lot of people are going to be involved and interested in the Padres as a dog. But man, the Dodgers are still so doggone good. And I know they didn't do much yesterday, but I mean, they're in Tampa tonight against Shane Baz, who's been struggling. There's another makeable 4.5 team over, by the way, because the ball flies around down there and the Dodgers haven't been down there to enjoy it yet. I still like the Dodgers to win the division. I don't know if I could back anybody else really.
Okay. Where are you at with the Mariners overall? And that division, by the way. I'm guessing that you liked what the Rangers did on top of that, Eddie Merrill Kelly?
Yeah, I think that was maybe the sneaky best ad of the whole trade season if you were to ask me about one guy. And yes, the Mariners got the power that they've coveted. They got a right-handed slugger. They got a left-handed slugger. Both corners are taken now with power. But if you look at the numbers that Eugenio Suarez posted when he was in Seattle, and there's plenty of sample there, his homers per at-bat, it's over 21. His homers per at-bat in Cincinnati and in Arizona were in the mid-teens, 14 and 17, I think. So, look, the ballpark factors are real in Seattle. And if you're looking for Naylor and Suarez to go up there and hit homers for the next 2 months, they'll hit some homers, but then I think you have to kind of temper your expectations. And for those reasons, I still like the Rangers and the Astros. I mean, I love the Mariners. They addressed what they needed, but Texas is going to go on a run, and Houston made themselves so much better. For Houston, for Houston not to have added another left-handed bat, they got Jesus Sanchez from the Marlins. That was nice. But I think Stephen Kwan, Jarren Duran, I mean, there were guys out there that I was shocked that they didn't come up with, because they've had 500 plate appearances from left-handed batters this year. And Victor Caratini, as a switch-hitting catcher, has had like 300 of them.
That's crazy.
I just can't believe they didn't fix that. Yeah.
That's absolutely wild. Hey, in like 45 seconds, as a diehard baseball guy, do you like this? I mean, all this parity at the deadline, like 10 teams are like, screw it, we're this close, we're going to go for it?
Yeah, I love it. I think it's good. I mean, I don't think it'd be fun if you were living in Minnesota as a Twins fan or living in Phoenix as a Diamondbacks fan. That would stink. And as a fan, I've endured that with growing up in Oakland for many years. But for the other cities, it's good. It makes everything relevant. The Yankees fixed their bullpen. By the way, Carlos Rodon tonight, punch-out number at 5.5. And the Marlins don't strike out that much. I want to look at that lineup and see who's playing. 5.5 feels like a pretty easy number for Rodon tonight.
Dynamite. You're the best.
Yes.
Thank you. Enjoy the weekend, okay?
Okay, guys. See ya.
Matt Vasgersian, MLB Network, here on the Progressive Guest Line. A lot of great stuff there from Matt. Stuff on France, Flaherty, Carrera.
Always good. Dodgers have lost 14 of 21. I think it's still worth a look, though.
Yeah. And are you ready for this? Starting pitchers have gone over their K-prop. 15 straight games against this team when they're on the road. We'll give you the details on that next.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Love talking to Matt Vasgersian. Had a lot of great stuff for tonight's card in Major League Baseball. If you missed it, you can always go back and listen to the Follow the Money podcast, wherever you get your podcast. He was strong on this Tigers-Phillies game tonight. He thinks there's a really good chance that the Phillies are going to light up Jack Flaherty.
Yeah.
So I will say this, on the flip side, starting pitchers are 18-4 over their K-prop last 22 games against the Tigers. Suarez goes.
Yep. A lot of different ways you can play this.
Well, that's the thing. Betting baseball, I mean, how do you want to approach it? Right?
You could play Suarez to record a wins plus 150. They're $1.60 to win the game. Flaherty to give up 2 earned runs is $2. To give up 3, it's plus money. Great breakdown. Never been there before. Lions Den, everything he said. The Phillies should get to him tonight. But there's how you want. Maybe you want to play everything and just. I mean, he won the game last time out, but prior to that, he was 1-4 with an ERA of 8. And now you got a guy who's got the 3rd best ERA in the last 14 starts. Come on, Phillies.
Yeah.
It's hitting you right in the face.
I went there July 4th weekend, 2008, for a Mets-Phillies game. A couple of things were very memorable about that. One,
Shake Shack?
I believe that Luke might want to look this up too. It was the finale of Wimbledon, and it was like a 5-hour match between, I think, Nadal and Federer or something like that. It was one of the best Wimbledon matches of all time. Mm-hmm. And we were watching on like the side TV. And also I went to Tony Luke's to get a cheesesteak in the outfield. Yeah. I tried 3 different times during the game. I would have missed like half the game had I waited in line.
It's that long?
It was Paul. Every time, 300 people in line, wrapped all the way around everything. So I'm like, I really wanted to try Tony Luke's. I'm not going to wait that long. Crazy. Phillies won the game. Cash the ticket on that one.
There you go.
Royals, Blue Jays. Waka, Gossman. As I said earlier to Matt, opposing pitchers, 23-2-1 under versus the Blue Jays in Toronto, last 26 games. Waka's prop under 3.5 plus 120 in that range. You want to bet it on principle?
Yep. Sign me up.
Career against this Blue Jays roster, a 12% K rate over 57 plate appearances. Not a big sample size. A 320 batting average, a 359 WOBA, and 607 expected slugging. I'll give you this. He brought up the Ty France matchup against Waka. You can get creative there again as well. 12-25 with 5 doubles and a home run. Adam Frazier against Gossman. 386 average, 17 for 44 with 4 doubles. But good to see the Blue Jays returning back home where they have been a total machine.
Bichette 385 against Walker career. You got that. And Kansas City's playing well, won 14-20. But you're right. Like your question to Matt, a lot of teams are in this. You look at the wild card picture in the American League.
I think it's great.
And, so even Kansas City thinks they can be in this thing as well. But I think the Blue Jays can get to Walker here.
You know, of the likes and dislikes on vsin.com from Adam Burke, the Royals were one of his likes.
Yeah.
He thought sneaky
Kept
good.
Lugo and some other moves.
Made a couple of decent moves, yeah.
Yep. So we're looking at it right now. It goes Yankees, Red Sox, Seattle. Texas is a game back. Cleveland's 3 back. Kansas City 3.5 back.
Yep, pretty good stuff.
And the Twins waving the flag. Cleveland should win tonight, but then again, Ryan could throw a gem.
Did you agree with him that it's still going to be the Astros or the Rangers in the West?
Well, I think the Astros will win the division. Yeah.
Okay.
I'd like what Texas did too, but the schedule's tough. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Most difficult remaining schedules, American League. I believe it's Texas, Boston, 1-2. So you just look at Texas' schedule. And that was right last night. They can't touch Kirby. He shut him down. And now you're going against Gilbert. So this is a big series for him, but then it's just tough series after tough series coming up for the Rangers.
I'll give you some more K-prop stuff here. I think there's a chance that Hunter Brown could be a good ladder bet tonight. On the year, he actually has really good numbers overall in the season, but on the road, almost like equally as good as when he's at home, including 10.5 Ks per 9. Now, again, very small sample size here against the Red Sox, but a 35% K rate. I think it's 6.5 tonight. I can see him climbing up to like 7, 8, 9 strikeouts in that game. And to pay off the tease going back before the break, it's the Dodgers I was talking about. Opposing starters are 15-0 over their K-prop against this team when the Dodgers are playing on the road. Unbelievable stat from our buddy Kevin Rogers.
Wow.
The last pitcher to stay under their K-prop, Austin Gomber for the Rockies, June 26th in Denver. 16-2 overrun, last 18 games overall for opposing pitchers. Matt brought up how Shane Baz tonight could get roughed up, that ballpark with those conditions there. High heat, humidity, ball's going to be flying around. Baz's prop is 5.5 over his highs, plus 112 that I saw earlier today.
Yep, I misspoke yesterday. He was good, and then he's been bad. Yeah, the good part was a while ago. And they're 1-6 in their last 7 with the starters. Going back, 1-6, 7 ERA, last 11 for Tampa starters. But I threw it out there that you can grab 8-1. Here it is. They've lost 14-21. They're scoring 3 runs a game. That's third worst in the league. During that span, Mookie's hitting .213 and Ohtani's hitting .207.
Oh, boy.
And Kershaw's $1.30 on the road.
Not good.
Ooh.
I would really love to see the Padres get even with this team.
You can do it. They haven't won a division since 2006. Is that right? That's what I read today.
Well,
I'd love to see them get even. You're right. But the way they're playing, the struggles with the Dodgers, the additions they made, I think they can do this. And the Dodgers are too high.
That was Mike Palm's first bet yesterday. He loved what the Padres did.
Yeah.
And he bet him to win the division. Mm-hmm. Not the National League, but to take him down in the West.
And they're catching the Cardinals at the right time. And Pavetta's $2 tonight at home. And they should have maybe swept them or at least grabbed 3 out of 4 last week on the road. So see if they can beat them up this weekend in San Diego.
I'll give you a guy tonight, a starting pitcher, who I would call this as like, in terms of like batter versus pitcher matchups, you're going to have a lot of small sample sizes. Well, this is one I think is actually somewhat decent. It's Logan Gilbert against this Rangers, the current Rangers roster. Seager's hit him pretty well, 8 of 25, 2 doubles, a triple, and a home run. Garcia against him is 7 of 38. That's a 184 average, 3 doubles, 2 home runs, but 13 strikeouts. And overall, in 218 plate appearances, Gilbert against this Rangers roster, 28% K rate. Doesn't walk many guys. A 168 batting average, 239 WOBA. Having said that, I don't think I can lay $1.85 with the Mariners here. Can
really?
You? Can you?
Plus money on the run line? Yeah.
Maybe
I got some numbers for you.
Parlay or something? Okay, go ahead.
They're 8-2 against them this year. They beat them 7 in a row at home. They are 36-8 against them the last 5 years.
You're kidding me.
Can you believe that?
The Mariners own the Rangers?
I thought that was a miss. Read it wrong. 36-8. Total ownage going back. Shut them out last night.
Wow.
Rodriguez is 545 against Leiter as well.
So you do like
I'll take,
okay.
Plus money on the run line. Yep.
All right.
I can't find Gilbert, at least I'm looking at DraftKings, Gilbert to register a win. And then the big dumper's got 6 home runs against him as well and hit another one. Boy, this is getting juicy here. How many is he going to hit?
But did you see that stat? I think we have that tweet. I got to go back and get it now. Of the players in history to have 40-plus home runs entering the month of August and how many they finished with?
Yes.
He's got 42. I saw an updated home run prop on him this week at 54.5. He needs 13 to go. I don't know if it's still the number, but if so, 13 in the final 2 months to go over with all that protection now in the lineup?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
All those guys who entered August with like 40-plus finished with 60 or more home runs.
Mm-hmm.
And now that lineup is going to go at the very top. You're looking at Rodriguez and Raleigh into Naylor and Suarez. And I'm probably, here you go. Here's a tweet, by the way. With at least 42 home runs entering the month of August. McGuire, 45. Bonds, 45. Sosa, Judge, Raleigh, all 42. And then what they finished with, it was absurd. Bonds, 73. McGuire, 70. Sosa, 66. Judge, 62. They all had 62 or more.
We got a tweet, too. They're saying on Cairo Radio, the M's lineup has the best OPS of any M's lineup all time, ever.
Better than the mid-90s?
That's what they said, that Mike Salk guy, whatever his
name is.
Oh, my God. Today, yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
This game has run line. I haven't bet it yet, but run line written all over it. It's the Brewers at the Nationals. They're going to get all 9 at-bats.
Absolutely. Okay. Come on now. Here's another one. Come on.
Quintana against Parker. Parker against his Brew Crew lineup, a 4.4% K rate. He walked 16% of the batters he's faced, a 342 average against, 464 WOBA. Brewers plus money on the run line. Tantalizing tonight.
Swept them at home. Did whatever they wanted offensively. Quintana's been good. They enter August with the best record in baseball for the first time in history.
Oof.
Go get them, Milwaukee. VSiN and Winner's Circle Proxy giving away 2 grand prize packages for the Circa Million contest. Each includes a fully paid entry, full season proxy service from the team at Winner's Circle Proxy, behind-the-scenes tour of our VSiN studios. I'll get you barbecue. Free to enter. Go to winnercircleproxy.com/VSiN. Fill out the short form before August 17th. Don't miss your shot to play for $6 million in guaranteed prizes this season. winnercircleproxy.com/VSiN.
All right, up next, more Major League Baseball. We'll get an odds maker's perspective as Chris Bennett joins the show. He's awesome on the sport. Manager here at Circa Sports. How did he adjust numbers for teams that were active on deadline day? We'll ask him coming up on Follow the Money. It's VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Good hour here. Matt Vasgersian 30 minutes ago to get his perspective on the deadline in tonight's card. Now we'll get an odds maker's perspective. Chris Bennett is the director here of the Circa SportsBook, and he joins the program now. Thanks for taking a couple of minutes out of your busy schedule, Chris. Good to see you again. How are you?
Glad to be here. I'm doing great.
Of all the moves that happened yesterday, first of all, what is your day like? Are you on Twitter the whole time in case something like a complete bomb drops? You're like, oh my God, I didn't see that coming. And like, how do you protect yourselves from like maybe incoming bets because of like how many trades are coming?
So going into the trade deadline, things are set so that a huge bet can't just come in on the mobile app. Limits are set appropriately so that if somebody gets news about a key trade, a key acquisition for a team, and there's a good bet to be made, they can make that bet for a reasonable amount, and then we'll see the bet, we'll make a move, and we're not going to get ourselves in too much trouble. I'm spending a lot of the day looking at Twitter, looking at the accounts that are going to disseminate that news, usually soonest, and I'm not necessarily like moving stuff around a lot as it's coming in. I'm generally willing to take one smallish bet on the mobile app, and if I think, oh, this team just improved and this is a good bet, I'll move the odds, but it's not too crazy. And as it turned out, there wasn't any one trade that was like, oh my God, this is huge. Like this team that was 20-1 should be 10-1 now. Also, it was nice there were only 3 baseball games on the slate yesterday because I'm also focused on every individual game throughout the course of a season as well. So the fact that the league scheduled things like that on deadline day, I appreciate it.
How often does something like this happen where you had the Joe Ryan news, though, where Yahoo reported Ryan to the Red Sox, but then it was wrong and deleted it?
I mean, I didn't even see every step of that progression for likelihood of him getting traded. So there really wasn't a lot of drama. I tend to follow the Twins a little bit closer than other teams just because I grew up a Twins fan and I'm from Minnesota.
Condolences.
It was a rough day for Twins fans yesterday, that's for sure. And on some sentimental level, I didn't want to see them trade Joe Ryan. Okay, you can get rid of Willie Castro, Harrison Bader, Brock Stewart, but Joe Ryan's really good, and you could have him for several more years. And even if the Red Sox do get him, yes, it improves them significantly, but if someone had bet them at 35-1 or 34-1 or whatever we had them at to win the World Series, knowing that they were getting Joe Ryan, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
And then we'll just adjust.
Yeah. Probably not going to cut it in half or anything like that.
Not that much, no.
So how much did you adjust a team like Minnesota for today's game? This feels like a trap game to me. We talked about it with Matt Vasgersian. He said the same exact thing. They're trotting out like a double-A lineup tonight, the way it seems. They gutted the entire thing, but it is Ryan going tonight against the Guardians.
It's an interesting matchup because how are both of these teams dealing with what's going on? The Twins dumping a significant portion of their roster. And I looked at the lineups. Trevor Larnach's not in for some reason. But outside of that, this is who they got. They had to call up some guys because they just made all these trades. The bullpen doesn't look pretty. I know that much. But the Guardians, they just cleared out the lockers for Luis Ortiz and Emmanuel Clase because of the gambling stuff. How are they reacting to that? I don't know. I would say Joe Ryan's a little bit better than Gavin Williams, but Guardians lineup and bullpen is better. But there might be some, emotional, psychological angle to this matchup that complicates the handicap.
I don't want to get you in trouble, but just an honest question about this. This stuff kind of piss you off. That if a book, kind of like the Porter thing, you want to bet a $10,000 same game parlay? But if someone was taking thousands of dollars on the first pitch of an inning to be a ballerist or a hit batsman, does that infuriate you or
So I believe operators should have the freedom to choose what they want to offer for markets, and they can choose how big of a bet they want to take on those markets. And I look at certain things that are, competitions involving amateurs, these micro markets like the first pitch of an inning that could be easily manipulated, that would be hard to detect outside of unusual betting activity. And I say to myself, if you're putting that up on the board and you're taking these bets, you're asking for it.
Yeah.
But I think operators should have the freedom to do that if that's what they want to do. And if you lose, tough. You should have to pay out. You signed up for that.
Sure.
There's certain things like that we don't offer and that I'm not enthusiastic about offering because you can see what's going on with the NBA and now MLB. There's probably going to be some sort of, federal intervention to say you can't offer certain markets because it's compromising the integrity of professional sports.
I saw this yesterday. I think it's in Ohio, where there is a lawmaker trying to pass, he wants all player props taken off the board because of what is going, for good in every sport, because of what the Guardians are doing, these players.
Doesn't surprise me at all.
No, I'm not surprised at all.
I figured something was going to happen with college sports.
Yeah.
But it could happen with professional sports because if it's happening in the NBA and MLB, that's about as high profile as it can get in America here. So I don't know what the future holds. I want to be able to offer, as many player props as possible on professional athletes, but I might not have a say in this.
Didn't see this coming with a guy like Malik Beasley, who was making, not the year it happened, but a couple of years before that, with $16 million a year, right? And then Class A was in line to, he was going to get traded probably to make the Phillies wanted him, whatever. How much money?
Bombshell.
Yeah, how much money could that guy make?
Yeah.
Yeah, go on, get out of here. And they might be involved with these player. This is crazy to me.
Yeah, every NBA player makes a lot of money.
Yeah.
And Class A was the most dominant closer in baseball last year. He's going to get paid very well if he wasn't already. I don't know exactly where he's at, with the arbitration and getting to free agency and all that. But these are the guys you're supposed to trust because they're already getting paid so much, and it looks like we can't trust them.
Yeah, well said. I saw our guy Isaac out here after the show yesterday. He bet $5 on the Rockies, most wins in August. Pays $15,000. Is there anything coming on the Rockies and the White Sox? Everyone try and take a shot here?
So I try to price every team as fairly as I possibly can for most wins in a given month. And the Rockies are historically bad this year, and they've been very long odds each month. But it's just a sample size of like 28 that we're talking, and these are professional baseball players. And it's not like they had great players that they just gave up at the trade deadline here, so they're not really very much different than they've been each month prior. It could happen. I made them 3,000 to 1 for the most wins this month. They're going to be an underdog in like almost every game. So like, I'm a little scared to take a bet on teams that are that long of odds, but I also don't like it when, I put up the teams that have the least chance to win, and nobody bets it either.
Right. And this month alone, you're going to feel it a little bit if the White Sox take it down, most wins?
We took a meaningful bet on the White Sox at 1,000 to 1 to have the most wins in August. If it happens, it's going to hurt pretty bad for us. It's a big liability for such a market that we have on them. But, they're the second worst team in baseball, and they're going to be an underdog in most games, and you've got all these, playoff caliber teams that ought to do better. But what should the odds be? It can be very hard to price long shot things like this. Okay,
so who, and I love that you do this again, I love talking to you about this, the most wins in a given month. Who was popular at Circa Sports? And you like to also bet on it at different books, obviously. Who did you take this month?
I think the most popular picks at Circa were the Padres and the Rangers. Two teams that have been surging of late. Padres now look like they're very likely to make the playoffs. They made some moves here at the trade deadline, as did the Rangers. Rangers, though, are really going to be in a battle for a playoff spot in the AL. I think the Padres have a pretty tough schedule in August, so good team, tough schedule, kind of long odds because of the schedule, but it was popular. And then the Rangers have more of a, I'd say, average schedule, but just based on how they've been playing recently, I can see why they would be popular. When I looked at what was out there in town, I thought Tigers at 25 to 1 was a little high. I had opened them at 10 to 1, I believe. So that's what I got involved with personally for the month. But it's always exciting, no matter what.
It comes down to the final day, like every single month. This is bad news. I bet the Brewers, I took a little 14 to 1 before Jackson Cheerio got hurt. I'm seeing now on X he might miss a month.
So I saw the news on Churio earlier today. I think they said he left with a hamstring cramp a couple games ago. When they say cramp, you think, okay, guy's not going to be out for very long, but clearly it's more than that, if that's the news that we're getting today.
Yep.
And that factored into our pricing on that market.
We're up against it, Chris. That was awesome as always. Thanks so much for the time. We appreciate that.
Absolutely.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Coming up in 15 minutes, we will get into the AFC East, some betting numbers to take a peek at. I think we both love the Bills to win the division. They're clearly the class of this bad boy, so you got to get a little creative. There is a bet at like plus 290 that I think is pretty decent inside that division. That's coming up top of the hour. Earlier today on X, I asked the question, which person can you see making a big run for an NFL award this year? Doesn't matter the market. Could be Defensive Rookie of the Year. Could be Coach of the Year. Doesn't matter.
Let's get nuts.
Let's get nuts.
Let's get nuts. So how high do you want to go? What's the most in terms of the price?
Let me throw
that you're also you're strong on. You think it could happen? Let's get nuts. We're not going to rule anything out.
Sure, we're going to give you our bets coming up in a few minutes. I'll run some of these by you that I saw on X, Pauly, and you can grade them, see if you think it's a waste of time or if you might want to back it. A very popular response was Nick Chubb to win Comeback Player of the Year. I think you can still find him around 20-1. Like the angle here is that Joe Mixon is, the news comes out. It's not positive towards him in training camp so far. Chubb went to the Texans. Like, they don't have a lot of other dudes in that backfield. Could Chubb, and the dude's a workout warrior. He's been a machine like that his whole career. 20-1, or are you saying that too much?
Not bad.
Okay.
I'd rather have that than McCarthy. As I said earlier, McCarthy's plus 750 in some spots.
Prescott's plus 275.
But it'll be hard to overcome Hutchinson, too.
Yeah, I know it. Yeah, he's dominating camp, by the way.
Yep.
So, McCaffrey plus 370. Trevor Lawrence plus 475. The angle there, he was piss poor last year. I don't know. Danny Dimes, if he actually starts
hurt.
and he's good, he can win the award.
Yeah.
For being so bad. Yeah, he got hurt too. Matt says Brian Thomas, Offensive Player of the Year. I've looked at that. In that offense now, our buddy Paul Charchian expects, and others, they expect the Jags to have the most improved offense in the entire league, drafting Travis Hunter. Thomas was awesome last year. And if you think that it's going to work here in year one with Liam Cohen as the coach and Lawrence at quarterback, you would expect that maybe Thomas can take just a humongous leap and put up huge numbers. The sports machine on X, Riley Leonard, Offensive Rookie of the Year.
Oh, boy.
Third stringer for the Colts. And that actually, a lot of people responded to that by saying the dude can't throw the football.
Oh.
I think there's an angle here where he gets playing time, but... And I like looking at backup quarterbacks to win the award. I've said that for many, many years.
You need 2 injuries.
Probably.
No.
Yep. This is from Jake. John Harbaugh, Coach of the Year, 75-1. He's high in the Ravens. He said they would need to go 16-1.
No. That's not... 15-14 maybe. He won it when they were 14-2.
Yeah.
They don't have to...
Well, last year, 2 teams went 15-2. Another coach won it.
Yeah, okay.
Well,
I know, but that's also how it plays out with what goes on around the league. But there's still a scenario. I think the guy maybe could get it 14-3 if something happens.
Okay. Any Action Sports said Tyler Warren, 20-1 Offensive Rookie of the Year. Another rookie here on the Colts.
Yes.
See an angle there? I mean, saying that he's getting handoffs at fullback to go along with playing tight end, sure. If he puts up, can he put up numbers that are not going to challenge Brock Bowers, because that's all-time good for a rookie tight end, but if he puts up numbers kind of in the neighborhood, he can maybe sniff it if you don't get a Jaden Daniels type year from, Cam Ward or another quarterback.
I think we talked about this. The fact that he has the same odds as Sanders is outrageous. I mean, come on.
I know.
When's that guy going to see the field?
No, great question. This is from Dave. Sauce Gardner, 75-1 Defensive Player of the Year. If he really follows around the other team's best wide receiver, is what he said every single game. There's an angle. I stick by this. I don't think Sauce Gardner on any planet deserved Defensive Rookie of the Year. Should have gone to the kid from Seattle. Better numbers across the board, more impactful numbers across the board. But Gardner won it because he plays in New York. And so if he did that and is really good, he'll pick up the steam. Ryan says Josh Jacobs, Offensive Player of the Year, 52-1 for the Packers.
Too many weapons, don't you think?
Too many cooks in the kitchen?
Yeah. Not bad, though.
Brett said Nick Bonito, Defensive Player of the Year, 60-1. If I could find 60-1, he almost that guy was in the mix last year on that Broncos defense.
Yeah.
I looked at only a couple of books today. I saw 33-1 on him. Bernie said Callahan, 27-1 Coach of the Year in Tennessee, and his point was that was all Will Levis last year. And maybe this team in this division, maybe if Cam Ward is the real deal, and they shock the world, win a bunch of games, doesn't hate their roster is what he said. Big time turnaround. I mean, how many wins does he have to get, in the conversation here?
9.
7, 8, 9?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Multiple people said Kyler Murray MVP.
I can't get there. No.
Neither can I.
No.
And your guy...
Why wouldn't he try... Why not Bowles, 40-1? He doesn't... I think there's a path for 1 seed with Tampa Bay. And I bet Bowles. I'm surprised some people didn't send that in.
I didn't see that one.
I don't mind Bowles 40-1 Coach of the Year.
Tell us who your guy is.
Okay. I talked to one of our guys today, and he's got a great source higher up with the Giants, and he asked him about Dart. And the guy immediately went to Scatabo. Said, this guy's the talk of camp. This guy's one of the higher-ups with the Giants, and he delivered last year on, at least with his viewpoint and prediction, on watch out for Neighbors. Low center of gravity, hard to tackle. Going to be on the field a lot. Could play special teams. Catches the ball out of the backfield. The props could be there, too. Could be the carries at the goal line. Singletary could be a cap casualty. Maybe the starter by week 4 or 5. Love him. All in. The kid's awesome.
80-1?
80-1 here.
Rookie of the year?
Yep, 75-1. Will Hill Circa. Will Hill Caesars. Yep.
You
He just went on and on
yeah.
and on. And
Okay.
I know you were high on him as well. But again, this guy is well respected with the organization. Played for the organization. And he's there all the time, and just said right off the bat, this kid is the talk of camp.
Okay.
Can't get enough of him.
So look at that. At DraftKings, he's 50-1. Here at Circa, Westgate, they have 80-1. You said Will Hill Caesar 75-1.
We got a tweet too, 475 rushing yards prop
Oh boy,
for the season.
that is juicy.
It is, right?
Oh yes.
I mean, if
it
the
is.
Singletary thing is right, I mean,
know.
he's could you could be, you're right. He could be the starter sooner than maybe week 2, week 3, and then plus you're getting carries right away at the goal line.
Yeah, I'm so high on this kid that I think there's a really good chance that come like week 1, he's going to blow, like in the next month, he's going to just
I can see it.
blow away the organization. They're going to have to say,
Oh, yeah.
this dude's got to be on the field.
He walks around. He's a badass.
Yeah.
I mean, he thinks he's a bad mofo.
I think he is a bad mofo.
I agree too. I mean, it's just if you want to go tackle him, bring him down, go ahead. But what else are you going to do other than throw to Neighbors? By the way, the source says Wilson's having not good. A lot of interceptions.
Oh, surprise, surprise.
Yeah, that was the other one, too.
I've seen a couple of tweets. Neighbors looks awesome. Surprise, surprise. And Abdul Carter looks like he's almost
That's another one
unblockable,
too.
You know?
That's another one.
Yeah.
He says this is, the kid's sick.
So,
But then again, you can't bet that. What his
No,
price
it's like
is.
2-1 or
yeah, right.
plus 275 or
But
something
he's
like that.
going to be an absolute stud. He said, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so here's one that I took a total flyer here. It's not a big bet. It's just to have some fun. I think this is more for like if you can find other like season-long props, I think, and maybe have this guy on your radar to snipe him in fantasy leagues. But the news came out this week that Juwan Jennings for the 49ers suffered a setback with his calf injury. Head coach Kyle Shanahan said there is no expected return date for the wide receiver. Not great there. They're still hoping Brandon Ayuk can be ready for week 1. There's no timeline for his return. They haven't given one yet for him either. Deebo Samuel no longer with the team, but it is a Kyle Shanahan coached offense. Brock Purdy will put up good numbers. They have a very doable schedule. That's why you've heard so many people make the case for this team. Over win total, division, NFC, the whole thing. Ricky Pearsall's the guy. I asked Jeff Benson here at Circa to post a number on him today. He did. He put up 400-1. I felt obligated to bet it. I took the 400-1. He's 250-1 right now. If you want to do, but again, like Weston was listening a little bit earlier, he found at a SportsBook Pearsall to lead the NFC West in receptions at 100-1. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Like something like that is absolutely doable if you want to get inside these division bets that you can find at DraftKings and Bet365 and some others. But he recently told the media, because he bulked up big time, and he looked like it during his media appearance. And he said there's a lot of one-on-one opportunities out there. You have to win your matchups. This is Pearsall talking. That was my biggest takeaway going into the offseason.
Good job. Let's get nuts. Fun. Circa Survivor Quest for $14 million makes its debut next Tuesday here on VSiN. And the guys are in studio.
Oh, this is going to be a lot of fun.
The producers are in studio Monday. 10-part documentary on the world's largest legal football contest follows contestants. They chase the $14 million prize. Episodes air August 5th through the 9th and August 12th through the 16th, 9 p.m. Eastern on VSiN. For more info, visit vsin.com/survivor.
We both love the Bills to win their division. We'll preview the AFC East coming up next. So you have to get creative rather than laying like $3. I found something here at plus 290 that I felt was a little juicy. That's next.